This is the oldest hot chocolate in the world. It's called chocolat, and it's a beverage that dates back thousands of years to cultures of Mesoamerica. In fact, its name is the whole reason today we call chocolate, well, chocolate. So to start, we're going to place some water into our pan. Let's get that in there. So next thing, we need to add some green chili. So we're just going to cut this up into segments and get it into our water. And finally, into our water, we're going to add 1 whole vanilla pod. So let's just cut that open. Right, so while we're sitting here waiting for this to get up to temperature, it's important to note that while this is going to be similar to what they would have drank back then, it certainly is not going to be the same. In fact, there's been quite a wide variation of recipes and ingredients that would have been used depending on the time or region. But this certainly was a popular drink, with Emperor Montezuma apparently drinking up to 50 cups of this a day. Right, so now that everything's infused properly, we've got to strain off our chilies and vanilla. So let's pour it into here. And let's just double check that we did infuse it with enough spice. Yeah. So while our water's cooling down, we need to grab some cacao beans. Now these are raw, so we have to roast them to help bring out a bit more flavor, as well as make it easier to take the nibs from them. So let's spread these onto a sheet here. And it's quite important not to burn these, so we're only gonna roast them for around 10 to 15 minutes. Now that our beans are finished roasting, we should just be able to crack them in two, like so, and pour our nibs into our pestle mortar. And don't worry too much if you get some of the skin from the cacao bean. Since it's so much lighter than the nib itself, you can just blow them out. Right, so now we've got enough of our nibs in there, we're just gonna give it an initial grind to turn it into a powder. And because of the fats that are already in there, it should turn into a sort of paste. This is not sped up at all. Now this has become almost paste-like, what we're going to start to do is add our infused water. So we're going to add a little bit by little bit and just slowly start working our way through this. So we'll carry on grinding this together now. So for our final step, and according to a number of sources, before we drink this, we need to froth it up. And the way we're going to achieve that is by pouring it back and forth between two vessels here. So we've got our beaker and we've got our cup that we'll drink it from. So let's pour it back and forth and hopefully get the froth that we need. So let's see what this looks like. Look at that! You can see on the top, because of the fats that are in our cocoa, it does produce this amazing froth on the top. And so we just need to bravely sort of do that. Wow, look at that. So just about ready to try this. Let's give it a final pour here. Look at that. That looks incredible. Right. Oh, the smell is so deep. The chocolate-rich smell that comes through. The slight hint of vanilla and spice behind it. So I can't wait to try this. Let's just tuck in and see what this is like. Cheers. Wow. Ooh, it's got a bit of a kick to it. Again, that super, super deep, rich chocolate flavor comes through so strong. And then just as a slight aftertaste, you get that heat from the chili. Super, super good. You can feel very slight texture, but overall, we've managed to combine the water with the cocoa solids as best as we can. So that's not bad at all. It's pretty thick, almost closer to a cup of coffee than it is what we understand as a hot chocolate today. This is really good though. If I had to give that a rating, I'd give that a solid 8, 9 out of 10. I really, really like this. I can absolutely see why this was so popular with the Aztecs. Absolutely delicious. So comment what we should try next. Very cool.